Hello to you, party people. All right, lots of shit be happening, especially over the last 48 hours. Gaza's Seoul power plant restarts after a 2-day stoppage. There are reports that Russia hit a Ukraine power plant nuclear with missiles, although Russia is accusing Ukraine of hitting itself and the power plant with the missiles. Cryptocurrency contagion continues as HODLNOT regrets to inform people whatever money you may have put into their HODLNOT coins or whatever, you can now not withdraw until further notice. 90 days before the midterm elections in the United States, and it is reported that the FBI has raided Mar-a-Lago. And here, the other day I was joking, hey man, if we were building a Nostradamus quatraint for 2022, having Death Valley flood seems like a thingy, and also having Stonehenge on fire sounds like a bad sign. So everybody buckle up, because it is 2022, and this year's probably just going to get weirder, wilder, and possibly more dangerous as we head forward. Also, China, upset that Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan and got a sash and some jewelry, has been firing missiles nonstop into the ocean around Taiwan and near Japan, I hear. And so I want to say, as your planetary defense commander in our whole thing of avoiding World War III the last 9.8 years, that this week is, or the last 7 days, is the record for the most amount of missiles being fired on Earth. If you take the missiles being fired from China into the Taiwan Sea, if you take the missiles being fired into Ukraine from Russia, or the missiles being fired from the new HIMARS system from Ukraine into Russia, or you take the missiles being fired back and forth from Gaza and Israel, this is the most amount of missiles ever being fired at one time in 1 week, in my opinion. Can't verify everything, but dude, so it is DEFCON WTF all the time. And that's why it seems kind of simple and, dare I say, fun, forgive me please, to even track hurricane season, because hurricane season seems like less of a threat compared to everything else. But the threat is still there as we are entering the oh my gosh part of hurricane season, where it traditionally gets really wild and really upset. Here we're looking at the 06Z GFS, which actually shows a hurricane strike on the Carolinas, part of the Northeast coast, and even New York, New Jersey, and those areas. But this was a run from 12 hours ago, and the latest run doesn't show nothing. So the latest run takes the hurricane and Prayer Warriors Atmospheric Defense Team, Asteroid Fight Club, fights it with their minds and wins. And so it is no threat on this run, though they're singular runs, and we do have an orange thingy on the board. And so, hey, man, and there are there are definitely reasons to watch. We will stay aware and hyperfixate on the Atlantic during, up until November. And so I made a jokey guess that we probably might not see the first hurricane landing or hit or even hurricane until October. I wonder if that's right. I don't know. We'll just have to keep watching. But there is an orange dong of danger on the board. And so we will have to watch it, track it, see what happens. If it were to affect people, it would probably be around the 21st, which would be right around 2 weeks from now. All right, we've had like 4 or 5 1,000-year rain events happen in the last 2 weeks. The latest one being in Michigan, the third in a 1,000-year rain event for the nation, happening in southeast Michigan on Monday. So, and then there are reports that it's going to stay hot through August all the way into September, though I think we have seen the absolute peak heat of the United States like 2 weeks ago, but I could be wrong. We'll have to continue to pay attention if you're into that thing. We had a sun-diving comet that developed a tail. Here at Keith Strong is showing us the little comet that could approach the sun and then burn away into nothing. So that's always interesting. That's always an omen of something. Am I right? You know I'm right. Dang right. We've had a couple coronal mass ejections and stuff South Korea just had an extreme rainfall 10,000-year storm event. Here, a landslide occurred at the Hasunun tunnel entrance to the Yunjin Expressway, which is very bad, especially in front of a tunnel like that. But they got hit super hard by tons and tons of rain, and I think that rain continues. And this is just my opinion, but it does seem like the new HIMARS rocket launcher system has been making a huge difference in the war between Ukraine and Russia. But the Pentagon just announced $1 billion in additional security assistance to Ukraine. I highly recommend peace and teamwork and praying for peace, but definitely, man, Mars goes retrograde, I think in October, and you don't want to be fighting a war with Mars retrograde, so I highly recommend truces and agreements before then, if you know anything. Anyway, that's nearly 14 inches of rain that dropped in a very short amount of time in Seoul, South Korea. This is on top of, we've had floods in Kentucky, Colorado, St. Louis, New Jersey, now Michigan. That's 5. And then now South Korea. So we're at the season where Mother Nature just opens up and drops shit tons of water all over people that aren't ready for it. And yeah, it's a very bad scene, man. We had get high like a G6. Well, it was a KP6 geomagnetic storm yesterday, I believe, which caused some amazing auroral lights. This brought to us by Dartanner, Team Dartanner. Yeah, destabilizing a nuclear power plant always puts everybody on edge, in my opinion. Colorado has had its own bout of flooding, and I believe it was New Mexico as well. Here, you're going to have to use your imagination because my internet's not working well, but just imagine flooding on Boulder Street, 16th and Franklin and City Park West. It occurred to me that, because this is Gaza and Israel, and that, so you've got, Gaza and Israel firing missiles at each other, China firing tons of missiles at Taiwan, Russia and Ukraine firing missiles at each other, and the Americas, North America, America, Central America, Mexico, South America, we're not firing missiles at each other. So you don't have like Canada firing missiles at Brazil. So you at least got to give the Americas a gold star for not being at like missile DEFCONs or whatever, in my opinion. Good job, guys. How dangerous are asteroids? They can be pretty freaking dangerous. And so I give another silver star to Asteroid Fight Club because I like silver better than gold. I think gold comes with a frequency that drives people nuts and makes them super greedy. So I like silver. Anyway, so silver star is kind of like gold star. I love y'all. You guys are utterly, absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's a crazy world, but I think we're going to make it through and things will stabilize by spring of 2023. So play defense, stay cool, pray for peace, and hang in there. God bless everyone. I'll talk to y'all soon when my internet is not being as wonky. And stay cool and, stay aware of hurricane season and 1,000-year flood thingies. All right? God bless everyone.